This is a J Mix exclusive.
It's weird, man, because like I said, Pac was a good friend of mine. Like, I met him and I started fucking with him pre-Death Row, before that. And I remember when he told me that he was going to sign with Death Row, he was in Dannemora prison, and he wrote me a letter. And he was like, hey, what do you think about, and you probably read this in interviews, because anytime I do a Tupac interview, this is kind of what I speak about. But it's like, he's telling me, hey, what do you think about me signing to Death Row? And I'm like, at the time, he had already did his thing. Like, he had already had his imprint moving. Me Against the World album, and he was huge. I didn't think he needed the Death Row shit, to be honest with you. You know? I didn't think he needed that. But he told me, he was like, well, they talking about coming to get me. You know? Getting me out of jail. And I could feel that. He said, Interscope ain't talking about coming to get me. So, like I said, I've been knowing Pac a long time, man. And I consider myself like one of his good friends. He was a good friend. He's like a brother to me. And I taught him a lot of shit, you know. And I wish I could have stuck closer to him once he got the Death Row vibe movement. But he just had took off from me. Like, he was so far out ahead of me as far as his career was going. And I kind of my grasp on him he just kind of slipped out of my hands. And when I say slipped out of my hands, I mean, because he was younger than me, and I'm a lot of game, and you know what I mean. All I ever try to do is give them as much game on the streets and just different shit, just so they can, you know how to maneuver. Because that's how I was brought up. The old niggas gave us game, and that's just how we was taught. The thing with Pac, he just was moving so fast, man, and blowing up at such a pace, it was hard to get a hold of him, you know. So when he got down there to Death Row, it was a good look. I mean, all the shit he was doing was good. Pac could see the change in the type of music that he was making prior to Death Row and, you know, once he was on Death Row.
How did you feel when you heard Hit 'Em Up for the first time?
Yeah, when I heard Hit 'Em Up, I was like, shit, that boy going hard. That nigga out there banging. You feel me? I just felt like, I said, okay, my nigga going in. Because Pac has always been very serious about whatever the fuck it is he's on at the time. And I don't give a fuck if it's, you know, bitches or weed or the love for his mama or whoever he fixing to diss on a record. Anything he was on, man, the boy was just dead serious. Like, and, you know, and that's just how he used to move. You know, but me being a little older, I used to try to kind of, you know, just shed a little light on different subjects with him, you know. But he kind of had his own take and his own feeling about certain shit, and that's just the way it was. And you have to respect, you know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, he's his own man. He's going to do what he's going to do, you know.
A lot of people have said that Suge put a battery in his back. Did you? What's your opinion on that? Would you like to speak on that?
That's a cold little term. I guess that's what people. I've never heard that, but I mean, I've heard that, but not worded like that. My experience with Suge and Tupac was whenever they was around each other, they were both like heavily influenced by each other. Tupac was heavily influenced by Suge, and Suge was heavily influenced by Tupac. That's what I used to see when I spent time around both of them. You know what I mean? It was shit that Tupac would have never been able to do without Suge's money and muscle, and it was shit Suge would never be able to do without Tupac's fame and connections. You know what I mean? So I used to see it from different sides. A lot of people probably didn't see some of the stuff I saw. So, but you got to understand, you got a young dude who wants to do music. He gets signed to the hottest label on the planet at the time. I mean, he gets over there when he's at the peak of his shit. They're at the peak of their thing. They got artists like Snoop and Dogg Pound and Dre, and you know they got all these number one records. I mean, you'd have to be in a bad motherfucker not to let whatever Suge put in his back, if that's what they were saying, affect you. You know what I mean? And the average artist, if you think about it, man, they gonna blow with the wind that's supporting them. You know what I mean? So if in fact Suge did put a battery in his back, you have to look at that. I look at it two ways. I look at it like this. I don't think either one of them knew what they had at the time. I think they was just so busy living in the moment and just fucking with it and blowing through shit. Because I've done it like that in the streets. I've been getting so much money before to where I couldn't even see straight. Like, I couldn't really see what I was doing because I was inside of it. You know, and now I look back like, damn, if I had did that a little bit different, and if I had put this piece over here and that piece over here, I could have been, you know, blah, blah, blah. One thing a lot of people don't understand, when you're not in it like that, it's hard to see when you're in a situation that enormous. You know, when shit is just moving like that, and I've been around them dudes, like that Death Row shit was moving. When I say moving, I'm talking about they was doing it big. They was getting money. They was balling out. They was fucking the bitches. You know what I mean? It was happening. Like, and it's hard to be focused and intelligent in all your movement in a situation like that. Because, like I said, I've done it in the street and looked back and was like, damn, I was moving stupid. Like, I don't know what the fuck I was on, but shit, when you out there, you know, it's like flying, man. When the wind is under your wings, man, you flapping and you getting there, man. You ain't got no time to be like, damn, okay, I'm flying. Let me see, should I be flying at 45,000 feet or should I be down at 31,000? Man, fuck all that. You just moving, man. So my answer to the battery in his back, man, they both. I done seen them dudes. I done seen Pac have Suge just as giddy and goofy around a bunch of bitches, and I done seen Suge have Pac wilding out and snapping in the studio on niggas. Like, I've seen a little bit of both of those. So I don't like to comment on that from that aspect, because like Pac was my man, and a lot of people say a lot of shit about Suge. When I fucked with Suge and the times that I was around him, he was a smooth dude. Now, I know he done did some mangy shit, and I think everybody knows that. But, like, my experience with Suge and Tupac, they were two dudes, the motherfuckers, they was crazy about each other when I was around them. You know what I mean? And it seemed like Pac was enjoying what he was doing, and Suge was enjoying, you know, what he was doing, too. I think fame and power and money caught my man at a vulnerable time in his life. You know what I mean? Because you got to understand where Tupac comes from, man. You know what I mean? You take a guy who comes from not having much to the top of the food chain, man. Shit. And then that talented, you know, he was just moving, man. He was just moving. He was just blowing through this motherfucker. And, you know, everybody has a say on how it could have been done differently. I have a say on it. I was like, man, if he would have did this differently, if he didn't sign here, if he didn't go there, this could have happened. But who's to say any of it would have happened if it didn't happen the way it happened? You know?
Absolutely. And it's refreshing to hear, because I hear a lot of negative stuff, and because it makes a headline about Suge Knight. But the more research I've done about Death Row Records, I see a positive side where he gave a lot of people, you know, from the streets a job, and a lot of that is the media doesn't pick up on that.
Right. Well, like I said, you know, it's probably some people who know the Suge story deeper than me. You know, I'm not from L.A. I'm from Oakland, which is down the highway, but I do know what I saw when Suge and Tupac were together. Like, when we were out, you know, I hear the story that he wasn't paying him and he was fucking him. He didn't give him this money. He owed him this and he owed him that. Man, what a lot of people don't know about the music industry, man, you're going to get fucked by whoever you get with the first round. I mean, it ain't too many motherfuckers out there who ain't getting fucked. I mean, if it's going to be Jimmy Iovine that's fucking you, or Suge that's fucking you, or shit, Def Jam that's fucking you, or whoever, man, the labels, the dick is going to be out. I mean, that's damn near inevitable to get around that part of it, you know? So my thing is, like, I hear the story that Tupac died, he was in debt, and he owed this, and he only had that. Well, when he was out and moving around, man, the man was enjoying himself. I ain't never seen him tell me, hey, man, maybe he had, some shit, the way he was feeling that he wasn't expressing. All I can say is every time that I was around him and Suge or around that whole situation, both of them guys seemed to be ecstatic about whatever it was they had going on. Suge felt like Pac was a great addition to Death Row. Pac felt like he was a great addition to Death Row. I think Snoop felt like that, even though I do know Pac got over there and started creating some little waves, or at least going along with the waves that Suge was trying to create over there. Like, just from me hearing shit and kind of seeing my man moving in the studio. He did a lot of things. I ain't going to say a lot. He did a few things that I didn't agree with, that I didn't think was like a player move. But like I say, he's his own man, and this is his business. So, I mean, who am I to tell him, hey, this ain't, because I ain't been around there all the time. I'm just picking up on it when I'm around. But like I said, me being older than him, there would have been a few things I probably would have did differently. But at the end of the day, man, shit, nigga was rocking. You know what I mean? So when I speak on it, I don't like to point the finger and be like, and it's not from no fear standpoint, because I really don't give a fuck about what nobody think about what comes out of my mouth, because it's the truth. Like, I fucked with Pac for real. Like, I could give a fuck what somebody say, oh, man, this nigga said, because, nigga, you didn't know Tupac like I knew Tupac. So it ain't like that. Anything I say is going to be genuine, and shit, a motherfucker don't like it, fuck, they can go fuck themselves.
This is a J Mix exclusive.
What up, shut up.